David, Fearless Fire has been a grand old servant for your stable, and he turned in another good run last time.
Yeah, he did, and the handicapper was kind to him and didn't put him up, so he stayed in the class. Just got an awkward jaw. His last start he drew wide as well, so if he can overcome that, he's always competitive in this class.
Just on last time, of course, as you say, he did draw wide. He had to do that little bit of work early, didn't he, and just to get into the position that Blake wanted him.
Yeah, he worked. He worked hard. He gave a kick and ran a really terrific race. And he seems to, whenever he's in Class 4 at Happy Valley at a mile, he seems to run a good race.
Obviously, the prominent tactics last time. Is he a horse that necessarily has to lead?
No, not necessarily. I'll put it in the hands of the jockey. But if he's going to get caught wide from the gate, I think he's better off rolling forward.
I guess you couldn't have him in better hands as well. Blake's got a super record on this old boy.
He has, and he won one race sitting wide the whole way and kept running. So, it mightn't be the worst thing being drawn out so wide.
He's obviously a chance. Just on the form of the Hay stable, obviously, it's been a little bit of a quiet spell, sort of in the last month. I don't think there's been a winner, but there's been plenty of placed horses. Has that been quite frustrating for you?
Yeah, very frustrating. Just my best chances of, Fearless have been just the way it's fallen. I've had plenty of good runs, but no wins.
No, absolutely.
So it's bring on the off-season.
Well, indeed. Here's to all of us. And just finally, obviously, this morning, we've just watched Nervous Witness go round in a trial. That would be a great way to obviously finish the season. I mean, you were telling me that there's another race for him, possibly?
Yeah, there's another race for Nervous coming up on the 1st, of the Friday meeting. And he'll be very competitive. He always is.
I imagine Zach was pleased to get back on board.
Yeah, he's very happy. He was a bit fresh today, but that's why he went in the trial. And that freshness will come out of him with the trial under his belt, and he'll be really competitive. And Zach thought it's the best he's felt in a trial, and he's trialled pretty well a few times, so that's a good sign.
Zach Exuberant is a horse that you'll jump back on board Wednesday night. You've only ridden him a couple of times, but the record's very good.
Yeah, he's a bit of a tricky horse. He can quite often be slow out of the gates, and if he gets in behind, gets a little bit tight, he's not comfortable, he won't hold his spot, he won't travel, he sucks out of it. And then he just loses his concentration. And obviously last time he began well, so I took the opportunity to take it up. Nothing else was. It weren't going that quick early, but in front with nothing to follow, all he did was look at everything and then just once again switched off in the straight. He didn't commit himself properly. He just needs to either be outside leader or in a position where he's outside and he's got something to follow or something to bring him into the race. And that's what really suits him, but you don't get that often. He doesn't get the start right often, so you sort of fly by the seat of your pants a little bit with him, but his last run was good, and if he can just reproduce that, he's some chance again.
Yeah, it looks like there's plenty of pace in the race as well, so it should give you something to follow.
Yeah, well, if they break up a little bit and it gives him a little bit more room, certainly he'd be a touch more comfortable like that, and that would suit him.
Just reflecting on the weekend for you, that was 4, which was a great day at the office. You've equalled last season's tally. Obviously, that potentially a very pivotal meeting for you going forward towards the end of the season. Obviously, just reflections on that.
Yeah, sure. I certainly needed a meeting like that and needed it quickly, so it was nice that it came along. Physically, I've been struggling for many, many months now, and it's been really difficult. A month ago, I was contemplating putting an end to the season. I was in that bad a shape, but after months and months and months of seeking different treatments and doing everything we can, my body's finally just turned the corner, and I'm starting to feel a bit more comfortable again, which was evident in the weekend. But I still just need to manage my body between now and the end of the season to be able to get through. So that's going to be the difficult part, and then hopefully I can pick up some decent rides and build some momentum off the weekend, but there's still a lot to play, and I'm still behind, so it's not going to be easy. And Joe's been riding very well all season, so he's a tough competitor, and he's going to get plenty of chances himself.
Talking about being behind, obviously the body got a good workout as well. I can't speak to you without asking you about Beauty Joy. I know there's been plenty of press about the horse naturally. There were cries of almost reminiscent of Pakistan Star. I noticed a few photographers on race day. Extraordinary performance.
Yeah, it was. You don't see horses do that in a lesser class race, let alone a group race here in Hong Kong. And he's just a very quirky horse, as we've become to know. But You know, I was really worried about him in the early stage of the race because he had that coffin bone injury and he had 12 months off, and when he was on the wrong leg, his head was up and he wasn't stretching out. I was starting to think, you know, maybe the injury had reoccurred. After he went a furlong, he changed his leg and then he got a little bit more comfortable and started to show a little bit more enthusiasm, so I sort of kept him going, and then we know what he did in the end. So, you know, he's obviously a talented horse. It's just a matter of, you know, him putting it all together. He hasn't really put it together so far, but he's winning races, so, you know, it's going to get harder for him, but it was an exciting race.
Alexis, Yo Beauty, he may not have won just yet in Hong Kong, but he's running some very good races in defeat. Might Wednesday night be the night?
Well, he's certainly going very well. He's been very consistent, and he's been good to me recently. I can tell the issue might be the draw, because I mean, it's going to be difficult to start from this gate. He's certainly a horse that likes to go forward. He's a bit one pace, but it's all about having the chance to come across without using him too much.
I guess obviously the draw, the negative. I guess the positive, looking at his run a couple of starts ago, he actually had Lucky Swainess behind him, so he certainly comes in with form claims, if nothing else.
Yeah, of course. But he on that occasion, he started from gate number 1 or 2, so it make a big difference, you know. I believe the pace should be okay in the race, so let's see what I can do.
Interesting, you said about him being a one-paced horse. I mean, he won over a mile in Ireland and was listed placed at 14, but do you feel 12 was possibly his best trip here?
That's a good question, but I think he wasn't very consistent in his previous start over 1400 in Shatin, so it was probably the right move to go back to Happy Valley 1200 meters. Anyway, he showed consistency since that on this distance, so he's in very good form. He tries very hard. I mean, sooner or later he's going to win a race like that.
We've just seen the conclusion of the group race season, if you will, here in Hong Kong, Alexis. You've come out with top honours. Nice to get that win on the weekend on Tourbillon Diamond. You stayed loyal to him and you were rewarded. Yeah,
it was amazing. You know, it was a very tough effort from the horse. 132, handicap Group 3. It's never easy to beat the bottom weight, and tactically everything went on my favour. I mean, the pace was good early on, and I just decided to wait. I just moved a bit early, but the horse has been amazing because he just carried on. He put his heart on the track, and it's an amazing racehorse.
Just an overview of your season as far as obviously big wins go. I mean, you've come away, I think, with 8 group wins in total. Obviously, Wellington being the ace in the pack. I mean, you must be just really pleased with the way things have gone.
Yes, I mean, I knew I won quite a few big races. You know, I knew that, but I didn't expect to have 8 total. I just found out 2 days ago, and I think it's good. I'm very pleased and very grateful for all the support that I've been given. And during the season, you never look back thinking like, oh, how many races I have won. You just want to win more, and you focus on the next ones. So I think overall it's a good result, and I will try to keep going.
Yeah, great result to finish the season on, and hopefully enough to the off season and into next season, things can continue from there.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I'll try my best, you know, and try to avoid the suspensions as well. It's never easy in Hong Kong. It's a tough time, and I'll try my best to keep improving and do a better season.
Frankie, the final race on Wednesday night looks a pretty hot contest. You've got a couple of runners. If we can start with Rewarding Together, he's just been in super form, this fellow.
Yes, he's this season he really good form. He draws 7, and yeah, he more easier. If you get the cover, I think he's good. Yeah.
What about the return to Happy Valley? I mean, last time he ran such a big race at Shatin, but you've come back to the city circuit this time.
Yeah, I think Happy Valley Shatin doesn't matter for him. He's a very honest horse, easy to ride.
And just on the run last time, he was beaten by Winning Dreamer, who we know is a pretty handy horse. So I guess coming into the race, he's got some of the strongest form.
Yeah, I think Winning Dreamer, everyone knows before he's a really good horses, except he got some problem. And then, but last time he's won a really good race. So I think he also got a really good chance.
You've also got EASON in the race as well. Just from your point of view as his trainer, were you a bit disappointed with his run last time?
Last time, I think you can see Vincent ride him at the turn 6-7 deep, I think too wide. And because last time his first time go up to class 2, And this time we got a draw one, should be much better, and then also draw on.
And how have both of them worked, Frankie, leading up to this race? Have you been pleased with their track work?
Yeah, both really good in the form, yes.
We've just seen Master 8 trial here this morning, Frankie. He looked to trial really well.
Yes. We ready for 1st of July, yes.
Okay, and obviously just on the stable form, of course, there was a double on the weekend just gone, so you're keeping up the momentum nicely.
Yes, I hope I can keep win a race. Every meeting should be better for me.